Number 11. Boys fight python. In 2018, a video went viral of 3 boys who fought a python while desperately trying to save their pet dog. It's unclear where exactly the incident took place, but some sources claim that the video came from China. After seeing that the serpent had already wrapped itself around the dog's lower body and hind legs, the boys sprang into action. One tried using a metal pole to control the massive snake's head, while the others threw rocks and swung branches to distract the beast. The boys then teamed up to loosen the snake's grip by pulling its body in opposite directions. They eventually managed to unclench it long enough for the dog to whimper away to safety. Number 10. Travis Kaufman. Colorado man Travis Kaufman was out running on a scenic trail in the Fort Collins area when he heard rustling in the pine trees behind him. The 31-year-old turned his head and saw that a young mountain lion was only a few feet away. Kaufman shouted, put his arms up and tried to make himself look bigger in an attempt to scare off the animal. It didn't work, and the ferocious feline charged him. Kaufman put his hands up and the mountain lion latched onto his wrist as it started scratching his face. He struck the beast with a rock, clean on the head, but it didn't break its attack. Kaufman managed to maneuver to a position that enabled him to better grapple with the mountain lion. Acting under the jolt of adrenaline and realizing the beast would keep charging him if released, Kaufman choked it to death. He then found help and was taken to hospital, where he received stitches on his wrist, more than 20 stitches on his face, as well as treatment for contusions and puncture wounds to his legs. Number 9. Lydia Angiou. In 2006, in the small village of Ivujivik, Quebec, local Lydia Angiou held her own against a polar bear. The 41-year-old was walking with her young sons when they came across the beast, which is the largest land carnivore in the animal kingdom. Angiou told the boys to run and swiftly got between them and the bear. It charged her, and the woman started kicking and punching the beast. It then swatted Angiou in the face and she fell on her back. From the ground, she started kicking the animal again in a bicycle motion, but was swatted once more. The commotion alerted one of Angiou's neighbors, who grabbed a rifle and shot the bear 4 times, killing it. The woman was exhausted and severely shaken up, but had sustained no critical injuries. Amazingly, the confrontation with the 8-foot, 700-pound bear had only left her with a few scratches and a black eye. In the aftermath, Angiou was hailed as a local hero, and there were talks of her being nominated for a bravery medal. Number 8. C. Dale Peterson. There are very few stories of humans subduing bears, particularly grizzlies, without the use of weapons. Arguably, the most impressive of the verified reports is that of Wyoming's C. Dale Peterson, a renowned hunter and hunting guide. When Peterson encountered the apex predator, he didn't know that a group of backpackers had previously aggravated it. The enraged beast charged Peterson and ended up on top of him. The hunter knew his life was on the line, so he fought back relentlessly. He plunged his right arm into the grizzly's throat, then, using his teeth, pinched the animal's jugular vein. The beast passed out from blood loss, at which point Peterson struck it in the head with a stick. Peterson had also sustained injuries in the attack, but unlike the bear, he lived to hunt another day. Number 7. Russ Fee. While at a campsite in Canada's Banff National Park, a New Jersey family was attacked by a large wolf. Matt and Eliza Rispoli, along with their 2 children, were sleeping in their tent when the beast approached them. In an instant, Matt threw himself between the wolf and his family, while Eliza used her body to shield the children. A terrifying tug-of-war ensued as the animal tried to drag the man out of the tent, while his wife desperately held onto his legs. Fortunately, their cries were heard by Russ Fee, who was also camping nearby. The man grabbed his lantern and, upon arriving at the Rispoli's campsite, kicked the wolf in its rear end as hard as he could. The massive beast turned to him, but before it had a chance to attack again, Matt and Fee started throwing rocks and shouting at it. Once it got far enough, they fled to Fee's minivan, nobody having sustained any critical injuries. Number 6. Chelsea Bromley. When her 7-year-old son was attacked by a mountain lion, Chelsea Bromley rushed to his defense and charged the beast with her bare hands. The feline had wandered into the backyard of the family's home in British Columbia. Bromley was doing housework when she heard her son, Zachary, screaming. She ran outside and found that a mountain lion had clamped its jaws on his arm. The woman pounced on the beast and started prying its mouth open. She would later tell a media outlet that she began to cry out to the Lord as she wrestled with the mountain lion. It eventually released Zachary and ran away. The child was airlifted to a hospital where doctors expected him to make a full recovery. Number 5. Bridger Walker. Bridger Walker, a 6-year-old boy from Wyoming, was hailed as a hero after he bravely defended his sister from an attacking pit bull. The siblings were charged by the dog on July the 9th of 2020. Bridger stepped in front of his sister and took on the enraged pit bull. After the attack, the boy reportedly said, "If someone had to die, I thought it should be me." The beast bit deep into Bridger's cheek before retreating. Even though he'd been injured and was bleeding severely, the boy still took his sister's hand and led her to safety. He subsequently received more than 90 stitches to mend a brutal gash on the left side of his face. The story of Bridger's selfless and heroic stand against a pit bull went viral. Several first responders and a number of celebrities reached out and praised his actions, including the cast of The Avengers. Number 4. Indian man fights leopard. In 2017, a leopard went on a rampage in the village of Kairi in the northern Indian state of Uttar Pradesh. The beast had attacked several villages, but one of the victims, an unnamed 60-year-old man, fought back. He struggled to remain on his feet as the big cat attempted to drag him to the ground. Leopards are tremendously athletic and capable of pulling prey animals up trees that considerably outweigh them. The beast started clawing and biting at the victim's body. Fortunately, the man grabbed a large stick and managed to use it in order to wrestle his way out of the feline's grip. The leopard retreated to a sugarcane field as the victim, with his ripped shirt and bloodied torso, stumbled into the street while trying to regain his composure. Number 3. Sigurdur Petersen. In October of 2003, the captain of an Icelandic fishing vessel defended his crew from a shark attack. Sigurdur Petersen was known as the Iceman, a nickname that reportedly reflected his physical prowess and temperament. He captained a trawler called Eric the Red, which was docked at Kumit in southeastern Greenland. Petersen was on the beach watching his men processing a catch. The blood and intestines in the water attracted a massive shark. Seeing that his crew was in danger, Petersen ran into the shallows and grabbed the beast by its tail. He then dragged the shark, which was reported at close to 700 pounds, onto the beach and killed it with his knife. Icelandic journalist Renje Traustason, who knows the trawler captain, told a media outlet that such behavior was typical of the Iceman. Today's topic was requested by Moderately Amused. If you have any other topics you'd like to learn about, subscribe and let us know in the comments section below. Number 2. Moses Lukalu. African herdsman Moses Lukalu successfully defended himself against a lion, only to then tragically succumb to a hyena attack. While taking his cattle back to his homestead, 35-year-old Lukalu was walking along a forest path in Maralal. That's when the man was charged by the feline and a lengthy fight ensued. He was able to evade most of the beast's attacks and eventually managed to bludgeon it to death with his club. The confrontation, which had reportedly lasted over half an hour, left Lukalu exhausted. He was then charged by a pack of hyenas but was no longer able to fight them off. They tore into his body, causing critical damage. The animals were ultimately scared away by a motorist, who then drove Lukalu to a nearby hospital. Doctors operated on Lukalu for over 7 hours, amputating his arms and reconstructing his face. In spite of their best efforts, the man succumbed to his wounds. Number 1. Mark Johnson. Florida man Mark Johnson successfully fended off an alligator, arguably the most dangerous creature in his home state, by only using his bare hands. 61-year-old Johnson was walking along a canal with his pet golden retriever, Rex. The dog was nibbling on grass at the edge of the water when Johnson noticed the massive reptile heading towards them. He shouted at Rex and the pet ran away. Johnson then tried to do the same, but his foot got stuck in the mud. The alligator lunged out of the water and sunk its teeth into the man's leg. It then began dragging him into the water. Covered in a suit of bony plates, which act as armor, an alligator is extremely difficult to subdue, especially if it has managed to clamp its jaws on their victim's limbs. If it begins to death roll, it's only a matter of time before a limb gets twisted off. Johnson went for the beast's eyes, the only vulnerable spot he could find. As he plunged his fingers into its eye sockets, the alligator let go and swam away. Johnson then limped back to his house. He'd sustained 12 puncture wounds and required roughly 60 stitches. Thanks for watching. Would you rather fight an adult tiger or 100 household cats? Let us know in the comments section below.